What's up, guys? It's your boy Fix It Daniel, and today we're going to be working on something. Today we're going to be working on a 2016 Nissan Sentra. We're going to be replacing the starter in it, and I'm going to show you guys how to do it. So without further ado, let us get into it. So guys, welcome to the channel. Thank you guys so much for watching. I know it's been a while, but I'm trying to get back on these as much as I possibly can. So today we're going to be working on a 2016 Nissan Sentra. We're going to be replacing the starter. It's a friend of mine's, helping her out. We had some issues before with the famous push button start. So we were having some problems with it. You know, you push the button and it wouldn't start. You know, you're hitting the click. Tried everything that we could think of, and it ended up being the starter because we couldn't figure it out. I tested the push button starter, everything was working. I also had tried some other things, put it on the computer, nothing was relaying, but I did some tests, and everything seemed to be working fine. And then eventually I got it to run. She drove it for a couple of days, and then later she came and told me that it died. And then I told her we couldn't figure it out. She tried it, I tried it, all the fuses are good. So I had her take it to the dealership so we wouldn't have to waste any more time on it. And so I had her take it to the dealership, and we pretty much figured out that it is the starter. So she told me it was a starter, so I went ahead and got a starter, and now we're gonna try and put it in and see if this fixes the issue. It should. It sounds like it's the starter. Like I said, I tested the solenoid for the brake. It clicked. It showed me that it was working. So I was like, okay, well that's not it. And all the fuses weren't blown. All the fuses were good. No relay problems. So we're gonna go ahead and try that. So let us get to the location, and we'll go ahead and start working. All right, guys, so we're at the Nissan Sentra, and as you can see, if you can see down there, there's starters right here. So pretty much what we're gonna do is we're gonna get all of this off. I think I got a better idea. So most people were saying that you can drain the coolant. Another person said you can get the fan out. I think I have a better idea, and we won't know about it until we finally get this thing undone. But I think I got a better way to where you can keep everything intact. What we plan on doing is once we get this all off and get everything here off in the front, I think what we're going to do is just take everything and pick it up and move it. If we can pick it up and move it at least to about from here, because this is the top of the radiator and the condenser, if we can move it from here to here with everything out of the way here, we should have plenty of room to get our hand under there and get everything we need to do, and then put everything back without even doing anything crazy, hopefully. So we do have this hose here that may not work, but you can detach this. So you can detach these two screws here, and then this thing will come up, and then I'll give you some more lengthening room where all this rubber stuff can stretch, so we can get this all backing out. So we're gonna see if that works, if my theory works. If not, then we'll just do it by just basically just taking the fan out and then go from there. So let's see if this is all going to work. Okay guys, so first things first, naturally we got to take off the battery, which is always the first thing you want to do before you start tackling stuff like this. So we'll just take our 10 mil. We'll just take off the, actually, hold on, let's get you straightened up a little bit. All right, so we're going to take off this 10 mil here. Just set it to the side, just whatever you do, just try to get it not to touch. There you go, that's good right there. All right, and that's half the battle. So now we're gonna start by figuring out how to get all these out. So get all this out of our way. So I'm gonna take these off here. So I'm gonna do this a little different from the normal way that you normally would do it. So I'm taking off a little bit more stuff to make my life a little bit easier. So bear with me here. So I'm going to take these little paneling pieces off and keep the screws naturally. And then these just pop out like so, out of the way. Put that there, and then take the other one out. This one's got a little popper on it. So let's just get our flathead here. Oh, actually. Okay, I'll pick that up in a sec. Set that right there. This gives us a little bit of room. All right, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take pop these clips off first, actually. All right, there's one. Let me pop these clips off, get this off of there so we don't have anything attaching to it, because these things are gonna come off. Oh, that's these one there, that's fine. Just this bar's gotta come off. All right, that's cool. All right, so now, actually, I think these are 10s. Oh, a little bigger. Maybe 12. Yep. So we got 4 12s, 12 millimeters here. Really quite simple. All right. Get some short ones here. Okay, so that one's kind of a tight area. Not an easy bolt to get out. Not an easy bolt. Let's rust it. All right, let me finagle with this and we'll be right back. Okay guys, so we got this rusty bolt out. Now we're getting this top part here. So as you see here, we gotta take some stuff off this to get this mount off. One last thing we gotta do is we gotta get this bolt off for the horn, and then we gotta get the wire off. So I think it's a 13. So get that out the way. And we're gonna pop this wire off here.
So we're gonna pry this thing off here. All right. So this should be out of the way. Should be able to lift this right up. Yep, like so. We'll set this to the side. All right. So now this should give us access to everything. So we got these rubber piece grommets here on both ends. I think if we get this center port out and get these grommets, these rubber thingies out of here, we might be able to just pick it up and move it back. So we're gonna take off some more here. All right. Alright, so we're gonna see if we can slide this plastic piece out of here. There we go. Up and out. Same thing over here. Up and out. So get this last bottom rail out, which is, I think that's another number 13. All right. All right. So slide this out, slide that over, just literally like off to the side, get this horn thing out of the way. So now you see we have this. So this should just pick up. So we're gonna take these two bolts off real quick, these 10s I think they are. So let's see if my theory is correct. All right. Yep, 2 10s. All right, so we just take these 2 10s. Completely out. Put that there. Now this gives us room to let this go. And then we lift this over the cover, get it off of this little railing. It's got, I think it's actually together actually, so it should be fine. So we'll actually put that back. It's just an overflow tank. So put that there. Now we should be able to lift. Try not to pull too much, just enough to get it to move back if you have to. All right, let's lift this one more time. Just gotta get it over this little, there we go, just like that. Get it back, just enough room for you to get your hand and get to it. And there's a bolt right here on the bottom, and there's a bolt right here on the top. The connectors are all right under this, so we're gonna get this off and then out, and then we'll disconnect everything. Then we should be good to go. Yeah, should be good to go. So let's go ahead and get this off. So there's a wire that's attached to, not the starter, but it's in my way. So I'm gonna take it off. Hopefully you could see that. So there's a little wire piece thing, just pull that out. Now you see you got all this room now. Now you can get to this bolt here, and then you go over this wire, there's the bolt there, and then these two have the connectors on top that we can get to once we get this thing out, and then we can disconnect it all and then yank it out of there, and then we should be good to go. So that's how it is, and this starter has definitely been seen better days, all banged up. So we're gonna go ahead and replace it. I believe it is a 17, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see. Actually, it might be an 18. Hold up a second. Yep, 18. So this one we're going to do by hand. We're not going to use the machine. Hopefully I got enough oomph room to get this thing off. Perhaps I might need some oomph room. So, let's see. All right, maybe it goes the other way. That thing is on there. Alrighty. Thing is, just don't have enough oomph room. Usually if you got an impact or a pretty good sized one, that would work. All right, let me figure this out real quick, and we'll be right back. Okay, guys, we're back. So we figured out which way it goes. It goes counterclockwise. It goes up, not down. So we figured it out. We got it. So now we just gotta get it out, which is not hard because I already got it loosened. But now that we know, so it goes. All right. All right, there's one bolt, nice and green. And I got one more up top. I don't know if I can get to it with the machine or not because it's gonna be, this thing's kind of long. No, nope, I'm gonna have to get that one by hand. So, but it's loose, so it's not a big deal. Just gonna have to get to it by hand. So, not for sure if you could see this or not, but let's see where my wrench is. It's right here, but it's loose, so that's the good part. So it goes up, it goes counterclockwise, and I was going, it goes lefty loosey, not righty tighty. So, but it was on there pretty good. I'm gonna say this is most likely the original starter. It looks like it's the original starter. Actually, it is because I see Nissan right on there. So this is the 100% original starter. All right, give me a sec. Okay, guys, so now we got the starter out. It is this piece right here. As you see, as you pull it off, you see there's a bolt here, and then there's a bolt up top we got to get off, and then we can yank this whole entire thing out. So I think it's a 10 and maybe an 8. So let's get this thing out. All right. Actually, it might be a little bit bigger than that. So I'm having a little difficulty getting it out because of the wiring. So it's a little bigger than a 10. It's probably like a 13. Let's see. Yeah, I think it might be a 13, but let's get a shorty. Yep, it's 13. I think it's a 12, but we got it. Yeah, it's a 12. It's a little too big. There we go. All right. So yeah, it's a 12. 12 nut. Hopefully you guys can see what I'm seeing. So it's a 12 little nut. Just screw this off. Hopefully it doesn't go into the abyss. Good thing I got steady hands. All right, and then we got one more up top here, right on top. It looks like it might be an 8. See if I'm right. Yeah, it's an 8. So a 12 and an 8 to get this thing off. Got it. All right, we just slide this off and slide this big, huge 12 thing off. All right, now we should be able to get the starter out. Hopefully. We do have this lower radiator hose that might add some issue. There's not a whole lot of room to grab it anyway. There we go. Yeah, you got a lot of clips and stuff in your way, but if you finagle it and pull on this radiator hose, it's flexible so you're not gonna break it. There we go. And then out this thing comes. Of course, I'm going the wrong way with taking it out. Ugh, there we go. It's out. All right. So now we got it out. And you see it's kind of broke right here, because that's not good. It's original too, it's OEM. So here is our backup. So take these off here. All right, let's get this back in. Get our wires out of the way. Pretty, there we go. I'm gonna move this right, hold it right there. Get this wire in my, there we go. So we're gonna get our, and get our wires back on. All right, cool. All right, now let's get our wires back on. So I'll have to pull it out just a smidget. Trust me, this is not exactly an easy thing to do, especially when you don't got a whole lot of hand room to grab anything. All right, so on the top, got this little baby wire. Okay. Let's get the bolts back on here. I'm hoping you guys can see this because I gotta see and do at the same time. It's not exactly an easy thing to do. All right, let's get the baby one tight. So rule of thumb is before you yank this starter out with the old one, you yank it out as little bit as you can to get access to the wires, and then pull the wires out and then get the wires off that you're trying to get to. And then same thing in reverse. Don't put the starter all the way back in and get it bolted unless you got room, and then you can put everything back together. So let's put our 8 back. Let's get our 12. Alright, so now we're gonna get this bigger wire. Back on here. It's gonna want to fight you. Just FYI. All right. All right, now we got that on. Whew. All right. These are not fun. All right, put the boot back on it. Then we can shove the starter back in its home. And get the bolt started. All right, I think I can get the bottom one with the ratchet. So we're gonna try it. That way it'll make life easier on the top. We're just gonna snug it up just a little bit, just to make life a little easier. All right, just like that. A little snug, snug. And we'll have to do the top one by hand, unfortunately, just because it's so tight. All right, so let me get that one because you can't see it, and we'll be right back. All right, guys, and just like that, you see the starter's in. There's a bolt here, and then there's a bolt right up here on top, and then here's all the connectors. Hope you can see that. But as you see here, the coolant's still in check, the radiator's in, the fan's in, and all I did was take apart this whole entire front here and then get the top off like natural, and then pick it up and then move it back. Now you do have limitations because your condenser lines is holding you back. If I actually didn't have the condenser line, I could actually move this thing completely all the way back to here. But as you see, there's the hole for the mount right there. So you see I moved it significantly enough, and you see I got a ton of room. I can go here, I can go under and get to it. You still have to fight with your fingers and just torque it to the factory specs that they require. Or if you can't, just get it as super tight as you can, because it is not a whole lot of room. Now you could possibly get it from the bottom if you wanted to. You might be able to get to this bolt here, but you wouldn't probably get to the top bolt. So the bottom one would be the only one you'd be able to get to. But yep, it's all good. And now we're going to get this all back in together. We're gonna go ahead and start getting this all back because this is all good to go. So first thing, we're gonna get our radiator back where it was supposed to be. So what we're doing now is just making sure I didn't miss any hole. Oh, there's the hole. All right, so now we're back in the hole, and now the radiator is back where it's supposed to be. And then we just get the loop back over. Try to make it nice and easy. All right, so get that there. Get that there, and then this hole lines up, and we just take our screws and get them back in there. It's really reversal. All right. I believe those are 10s. So take our 10 millimeters, get them nice and back and bolt it. All right, now we got that back in place. And before we start going crazy, since we got a lot more room, get these back in their homes. All right, like that. Get these pieces up. Just turn them, get them back in their homes. There is some poppers here that goes on them, like so. And then we just keep it right there for the minute. Probably should get some of this trash out of there, but it's okay. All right, and then now we're gonna get our cross member back in place. Get our cross member bolts back in there. Get our bolts back started. Got one over here. One over there. I think they were 12s. Probably gonna be 13s most likely. Yep. So get our crossmember bolts back in, 2 bottom bolts, 13 millimeters. All right. We're gonna go ahead and put our crossbar back in place. I think it'll line everything back up. All right, they're back in. Get some bolts on top just to hold them in place for the time being. And then the last one, which I know this one is because it's rusted. Put that back right where it was. All right. So now, oh, hold on, I made a mistake. Hold up. I didn't put it in behind it. So, I forgot to put this behind this. Oh, actually, no, I was wrong. I had it in the right spot. Okay, I had it in the right spot. I just didn't realize it. All right, we're good. We'll leave these off for the time being. Actually, we'll just put one on top just to keep it from flipping out. All right, we're good. I just didn't realize I had them in the right spot. Just didn't put the bolt back in. So, all right. So now we're gonna loosen those up a little bit. There we go. The fitment was not right. There we go. Now we can get our bolt going. All right. All right, there we go. Now we got it nice and structured. Okay, so we got that. And we're gonna put our thing right here. wires go for that. Put our nut on for our horn. Just like that. And then the wire for the clip went right in here. All right, now we can go ahead and cinch up these bolts. All right. All right, now we're good. And now we can go ahead and cinch these up. Yes, they were. That's why they come off. That's all right. All right. Just make sure they're nice and tight. This one's gonna have to be done by hand because it's not a whole lot of room. Nope, a little bit more. Making sure they're tight because these are actually it's like a support brace bar for the top part, so you don't want it to be loose, you want it to be nice and tight. All right, we're good. Okay, so now we're gonna piece all these back together. This one went Philip said push that in. There that goes. We're good. These didn't have any clips, so we'll just leave them as they are. And then now we need to put this back in place, which that went right there with a little nut on the end. Forgot the cover for this. Alrighty, so we're gonna take our 10 and we're just gonna cinch this thing back up. Alright, get that nice and tight. I think I got them going the right way. I think they go under. Yeah, they go under. All right. Get that off to the side here. And then get these under here. And that gets slid on right there. And oh, I see it. There it is. All right. Then we're going to grab our Phillips head. Oops, sorry, it's over here. Get these all nice and bolted. All right. Get these back in the hole. And then now we just get our bolts. I almost forgot. Forgot to put back on the bolt for the hood latch. No big deal. We can finagle it. Forgot about these. I literally almost did. I was just wondering where these went. All right, and then now we just got to put the bolts back in. I think they're at this size. Yep. All right. What is that? 12. right. Got the hood back in there. Everything is back together. All I gotta do now, just hook up the battery. Last final thing. Get that right back on there. I think that is a tenner. All right. Everything is good to go. We got everything all nice back in there, back where it was, back in the original place that it was supposed to be. And they're all back in there. Just missing some clips that they weren't there before. But as you see, everything is all nice and back together. Now all we gotta do now is just start the car. Okay, so we gotta start it. As you see, it's running. We are good to go. You see it, it's running right now. We are all good. So that should be it. We should be good to go. All right, guys, you see, it's running. It's all good to go. All right, guys, and just like that, we are done. Everything is good. The customer's happy. Then off on, it came right up. It worked perfectly fine. So I think that was an easier way of doing it, with taking the radiator and then moving it forward without having to drain it or take the radiator fan off. The third way I've seen a guy do is take off the manifold, the intake manifold, which I think that's the hardest way of doing it. That's like unnecessarily need to do that. I don't think the third way of taking off the intake manifold, there's a guy in a video, he took the intake manifold off and it still didn't matter. You still had to finagle around that stuff. I'm like, why would you do that? Because now you gotta struggle to put them back on. But I think taking the radiator fan out or draining the coolant, that's okay. I just thought there might be a better way to do it, and my better way was working. You take off the cross member, the center support, and you take off the radiator that's bolted to the top of the radiator and the condenser. Move that away and then just move it forward, because it's rubber, it flexes, it moves. So you just got to push it forward as far as you can to give yourself some room, and then you just go to town and start taking them off. It's really not that bad. But guys, that's pretty much it. I'm trying to work on trying to incorporate videos from my mobile fixing jobs, trying to do the cool ones, the ones that people I think would be interested in doing. I've seen a lot of videos on these, and I thought it would be a good idea to do my video version of it, which I think mine was a little bit more easier. But you know, that's no here or there. There's no right or wrong way of doing it. As long as you do it, you get the starter out. Hey, that's all that matters. There's no right or wrong way. No one's better than the next one. It's just how much easier is it. But yeah, I'm gonna try my best to do some more videos. Even if I don't do videos from my company when I'm working on them, I'll at least try to do some more videos personally, to get back into this game. I miss being in it. I used to do it all the time, and I've kind of fallen off a little bit because I've been so busy with doing mobile mechanic. I haven't even had time to do a video, but I'm gonna try and do my best, since the weather's starting to cool down and the camera won't get so hot, that I can go ahead and try to knock out some videos as I'm doing them. But guys, I hope you like this video. Please go down in the comments, let me know if you like this video and it helped you out. If this is a better way for you than the other ones, that's fine too. Like I said, there's no right or wrong way, but if it makes it easier for you, that's all that matters. And as long as you get the starter in and it works, that's all that matters. But guys, I really do appreciate all the love and support. I do appreciate you guys. Even though I haven't been doing a lot of videos, I still appreciate you guys, because some people have been commenting and liking my videos and everything, and I really do appreciate that. I really do, and I will do my best to try to find some way to get back into doing more videos so you guys can see some more cool fixes. But guys, you guys have a good and blessed day, and I'm gonna see you guys on the next fix. Until then, peace.